fall asleep. Don't fall asleep.
But Rodney,
let me skip
what
it.
is he?
Go ahead. Here we go.
Is more important than hers, then you're already going to have a pernicious effect on that relationship, and you won't have a healthy, fruitful household. Matter of fact, you won't even be a patriarch. You'll be important to no one, because when them kids become older and go live their own life, they have their own family, their own kids. You're not important to them. You did it wrong. We need each other. So I'm not going to sit here and co-sign that a woman's role is insignificant. Both of our roles are significant. They're just different. And why don't, at this big age, that you don't respect differences? Now, I do agree with you. Single mothers.
Hold on, slow down. No, he has to have a point then. If their single mother households are struggling and a single father household is equivalent to a two-parent household, how would her role be equivalent to the man's role, respectfully? And given that the product that comes from that's what okay, I hear what he's saying now. So the product that comes out of single mother household versus the actual single father household is two different products. If their roles are duly equal, why doesn't the mother produce the same thing that single father produces? That's what his point.
You're relegating failure to jailhouse and stripper pose. But a child wait, let me finish. Let me answer. You asked me a question, I will answer, and I'll be concise for the sake of brevity. You're relegating failure to jail and stripper pose. But failure is also being unable to communicate and go out into the world and be successful and raise your own family. Failure is also being emotionally inept and inerrant, where you can't connect with your own children, and you're going to raise your children to be a failure. A woman, I'm going to stand on that, has an equally important role, but right now you're trying to use the big chunk of which you can actually access, because it's being monitored, but no one goes and does a data and research and consensus on, hey, how did not having a mother affect your relationship? How did not having a mother affect your financial skills? That is not really tracked the way prison and stripper pose is tracked. So again, if you understand, let me just say this. I'm going to prove something to you using your own logic. Do you believe, and I'll keep it simple, that East is more important than West?
No.
Or North is more important than South?
No.
All right. Or hot is more important than cold? No duality is more important than the other duality, man. That's all I'm trying to tell you. It is necessary. But when you have the mindset where you minimize anybody's role, imagine going to a job and you don't even got to be the supervisor. You just got hired, but the person reminds you, hey, you know my job is better, more important than yours, right? That way of thinking will have a pernicious effect with the person that just got hired. That is not the way to create success, to create a hostile environment through comparison. It's not.
Okay.
Now, I do agree that these women are, because they don't have that. But again, I'm also saying that when the household is absent of women, little boys, my mother wasn't there for me. And I was all fucked up and did not even realize it until I was 27 years old. I didn't realize that I was bellicose, boorish, bombastic, and belligerent because I didn't have a mother. Or matter of fact, I'll keep it easy. I was what these kids call a fuck boy, and I was really good at it. But it hit me one day just out of the blue while I was at a gas station. You know what? I do these women wrong because I automatically assume they're going to do me wrong because the woman that should have did me right first didn't. So that had a pernicious effect on me. And that had a pernicious effect on my lineage for my first two children because they were born out of wedlock because I didn't have the right mindset because I didn't have that nurturing. So I am a testament and a testament that it does have a pernicious effect. I'm not discrediting what you're saying. What I'm saying, don't give that, I'm gonna let you talk right now. Don't give that kind of credence to it because if, big old if,
that nigga long,
you want to pair bond successfully with a woman and be a patriarch, sit on a throne in a house where everybody loves, adores you, and capitulates and cooperates, that kind of leadership language is pernicious.
Okay. Then I got about 3 people I know that are happily, successfully married that the women know that the man is more important in the house than they are. And how are they successfully married? And how is the house going along with him? And he makes all the decisions, but she's living like a queen. She gets everything she wants because she's feminine, she's submissive, and he makes all the rules and everything goes through him. And they're happy.
I have a little brother that believes it's okay to murder people. Wait, let me say this. I have a little brother that's think it's okay to murder people because he's got away with 2 murders. Just because you can name somebody that is doing something that is counter.
The woman is, of course, I can't even believe we having this conversation or this discussion. The man is more important because the man is responsible. The man is the person who's supposed to kill, die, live, die, all these different things. So the person that is responsible and gets all of the blame if something is unsuccessful somehow now is not more important than the person that gets to blame the man.
Equal.
Well, I'm sorry. Equal. Well, either.
And fantastic. While you cooking too, I want to make sure clarify that it's not saying the woman isn't valued. We're talking about who has the value in the household.
Of course, the woman is of course is valuable. She serves a purpose because without the woman there would be no children. We're not saying that, but clearly we're saying. And then the job analogy was horrible. To say that when every job we know has a hierarchy and a structure, the way you have managers, you have supervisors, you have owners, you have workers. So for anybody that would think that you mopping the floors as important as the CEO of the business, that would be delusional and irrational.
No, it wouldn't. Right? And that let me know that you don't run a business. I have several businesses. That let me know you don't run a business. I have several businesses.
Brother, I didn't cut you off at all. I listened to everything you said. I didn't need to take no notes. I did not interrupt you at all, brother.
You're right.
So
you're right.
As I'm saying, right, again, and then making it anecdotal, which I understand people do that. Your experience, the same way you use for your brothers, not everybody's experience, and the numbers are the numbers. So it's just the stripper poles, the jail cells, and everything else, and doing dastardly things in the back alley. That is the measuring stick, because I don't think that's where any of us want to end up, right? So when you also look at it, there are measurements for, just like there are 2-parent households and college students, more college students, fathers the same way, right? So again, it's not equal to where a 2-parent household is equivalent. It's a little different, but there's a greater shift between a 2-parent household and a single father household than a 2-parent household and a single mother household. I can't believe we're arguing this when all the data's out here for it, right? So when the data's out here for it to support the worst of the worst situations being when there is no father around, which is that's the argument he was making. If the father being the only person in the equation is a net positive, okay, more likely than not, and the mother being a net negative in the situation, more likely than not, and we can see this with the attitude of the young men, right? The sassiness and all these things we keep talking about, the lack of manly understanding. Again, a man can bring a woman around is more likely to, hey, I got a sister, I have a this, I have a that, and they understand the importance of, I need my daughter to be around a woman to fulfill the feminine role I can't do. A woman, on the other hand, won't do that. And when she has a great father, if she feels a type of way, she will prevent the biological father from being involved with that child. That's something that most men, 99% of men won't do. Okay? He can hate, he cannot stand her, but that man will not, in the majority of times, prevent that woman out of his immaturity and childishness from being with that parent.
All right, so there's more to this, but as of right now, what are your thoughts on this before I play more of it?
Well, I would say, my brothers, that when you participate in the molecular stance, and then when you get to the point of personification, excuse me, brother, I mean constipation, that's when you Nah, I mean, I see where both of them coming from, and it's just one of those things that it just depends on like how you was raised. Because I know with my dad, how he told me, I guess it might be a generational thing, because my dad was raised by his grandma, right? And I guess his grandma was raised a certain way, that because she was it was a man in the house, but he was always at work. But the way my grandma treated my dad was as if, hey, this is how a man's supposed to be, right? It wasn't, I'm going to change the structure of how I think it should be. She saw what happened and how her brothers and the people, her uncles and everything, how they was raised. She tried to do the same thing the best of her ability. She didn't try to disrupt what a man is supposed to be. I've also, and I haven't seen that work out. I think the situation within this conversation is that I think sometimes when we have conversations like this, we miss the mark where a lot of times with men that are successful that is raised in a single parent home, which would be the mom, a lot of times they get a lot of their experience, knowledge, and their wherewithal of being a man is taught by being out there in the world, and the world taught them how to be a man. And I think it kind of correlates to what we were talking about before, as far as men being accountable, because at the end of the day, it's gonna catch up with you. It doesn't matter how you was raised. If you didn't have your dad in your life and you had your mama, or vice versa, at the end of the world, you're gonna be responsible for your actions. And I think a lot of times, I didn't see even some of I didn't got friends that was raised by a single mom, and we saw them how they were when we was growing up. They were real babyfied and everything, and they're completely different now. And it was based off when they went to the army, or they mom put them in football, and they just kind of kept on going with it. And then that's where they learned how to be a man and just kept on going. They got mentors later on and all that stuff. And I think that's the nuance that's missing out this conversation. If we want to talk about like if a mom is there, and if a man is there, if it's one parent as the dad, if it's a one parent on the mom, I think that's what Six, he always say, the minutia of things.
Yeah.
Also, another thing is, actually, the reason why I said don't go to sleep, because Six is a fraud, right? I don't think he's not successful, but I have seen him on shows where he actually articulates himself way different when he's speaking to women, for them to understand what he's talking about, versus when he's on this panel and he just used a lot of filler words. I wouldn't even say big words. I say filler words in order to illustrate what he's trying to say. He tried to sound pseudo-intellectual, use a lot of, say, minutia, moot, all these different type of things, and he put people in a trap that he say a whole bunch of filler words, and if you have a disagreement with what he's saying, then he attacks how well you are able to communicate or your competency to follow what he say. It's not the context of what I don't agree with. It's more with, you can't follow what I'm saying. You're not competent enough to have this conversation.
But he sounds stupid when he's doing it, though. I don't know. Some people might look at it and be like, yeah, he's intelligent. But he sounds like a fucking idiot, almost like what you put up on that on your stream. But yeah, I do believe that the argument is true. If there's a man in the house and a woman in the house, that child is going to be the same as if it's just a single man versus a woman. But this is the thing, though. I grew up around, like, in my family, a lot of truck drivers, right? So, like, a lot of times those cats are at home once a month, or maybe even long, or they're gone like even longer than that. But I can tell you, for the most part, if that dude is the man in his house and his wife respects him and loves him, that child's going to end up being a very masculine man. And his dad is not there a lot. I mean, I see it happen all the time. It's because she's rolling, just like what Macaroni said. She knows what it takes to become a man. She's going to put that in place. She's not going to discipline you that way, but she's going to let you know exactly what's going on when your father gets home, because they can communicate. They're working together to raise you the best they can. They're not working separate. So when that shit happens, even though he's not at home a lot, as long as she's on the same page as him, that child will still grow up to be a respectful person. Maybe even going to be a business owner, whatever the case may be. I mean, I've seen it happen so many times.
I can attest to it because Courtney, we grew up together, and he knows that my dad was gone 20 days and he was home 10 days. And it fluctuated back and forth, right? So it really wasn't no time off or anything like that. But like I said, like what Marcus said, my mom knew how my dad was and knew what the expectation when it comes to the boys and when it comes to the girls. And she made sure she tried to make it as much as possible the same, even though he's gone, even though we know, right? But when it got to a point where she was like, I don't know, she got on that phone and my dad was on that phone. Hey, boy, straighten up. listen to your mom, X, Y, Z, this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah.
And I've been there, and I've been there a couple of times when it happened too, so I can attest to it.
Yeah, it was never that, hey, no, don't tell your daddy type shit. It was like, yeah, you fuck up, I'm telling your dad. Like, it wasn't no against you, her against him type of shit. They were like together.
Yeah, they together. So I think I said this in a previous thing, a previous show, that I have friends that have kids and they are co-parenting, and they said they can see certain nuances because he's not there 100%. He see where the mom kind of slack off on, kind of like not slack off, but knowing that what a man needs, they kind of like don't worry about that certain situation. They can see how the son fall under pressure real fast because the mom just cuddle him and just do whatever he needs and give him whatever he needs. Whereas the dad would teach them how to put them in a controlled environment that you can do without and you will be okay. If that makes sense.
I think a lot of things, like when you come, like we talk about a father, like they'll do things to put you on the right path that may affect them too, in a way of like, just say if your kid, and I wish we talked about this. I knew we were going to talk about some. I have another clip, but maybe we'll talk about it next week. Just say if your kid gaining weight, you know, like your kid's getting big. You don't want to call them fat or whatever. But I think for the main part, I think most men would make the sacrifice for themselves for that kid. Like as far as like not buying junk food in the house, so they're not gonna eat junk food. They're not gonna drink soda. They'll say, "Fuck it, I'm gonna drink water." He or she will drink water. It's not gonna, like I'm gonna do this to where none of that shit's in the house. It's gonna affect me too, but I'm looking out for the kid. You know, it's not like in a lot of situations, your mother would tell you, "Hey, you know not to do that," but hey, shit, I'm gonna still do what I need to do. You know, and I'm not saying it's all mothers. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying a lot of times it's kind of a situation like you know better. You need to learn how to do it, but I'm not gonna sacrifice what I need to do to make that go that way for you.
I got a question. Do y'all think it's like a regional thing? Because I know, like from where I'm from, hey man, the women they don't play either.
No.
I mean, as far as
in the South,
like yeah, from where I'm from, Alabama in the South and all that type of stuff, they don't play. They kind of like it's still kind of like old school country shit. So like, ain't no eating no sweets before we eat dinner. Get up, stop crying. If you a boy, not much as the girl. I seen how my sister was raised, but she was the oldest, so I didn't see how she was raised when she was a little girl or whatever. But yeah, it's really kind of like different from when I go to my people that I know houses that are raised in different areas, like the North. Like even my cousins up north, when they used to come down and visit us, and Courtney know it too, my cousin from New York, the stuff and how we were doing was totally different. Totally different. Like they was like, they'll sit down all day, not do nothing, want to eat. Me and my brother, everybody, we up cleaning, making sure the house straight, this, that, and the third. We saying, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. They talking to their parents and they their parents, they calling them by name and stuff.
They treat them like they're adults.
It's a regional thing. It's a
like y'all finna get in trouble. Y'all finna get a whooping.
They treat like they're
a whooping.
They treat them like adults. I'll tell you with some of my friends now, and it irks the shit out of me. And I'll tell them, but hey, it's their kids. I can't do it. I mean, what it is. Y'all know I got a fucking potty mouth, bro. I curse where I can't stop cursing, right? So when I go over sometimes, they're like, "Hey man, hey yo, stop. Hey, can you like cut down on the cursing? Like I don't like in front of the kids." I'm like, "What the fuck?" I mean, I'm gonna respect them in their house, but my if I had to say one curse word and told my dad, "Well, you say it," that wouldn't even been like a conversation. It's like every motherfucker. It's pretty much like you know how to say it, you know how not to say it. I don't give a fuck what I do. Like you do not do that, and that's all it was. It was not this we equal type shit. I'm not gonna do it, so you can't do it. And I think a lot of times that's how they treat these kids, like they fucking equal. It's like, no, this shit ain't fair, man. Hey, this ain't we ain't equals. I do what the hell I want to do, but you know what not to do. And I think a lot of people don't have that sort of like. That's like more people in the South are kind of like that. You're grown enough to know what's right and what's wrong. That's it.
Yeah. 30 years old and get popped in the mouth.
Ash Raw, before I hit play Ash Raw, y'all got anything to add?
No, I'm gonna let them cook a little more.
All right, Ash, you got anything? Let it play a little more? Okay.
Yeah.
Because now, before we get into it, it's gonna start to slightly switch gears a little bit. So just be prepared.
They about to get sassy?
Hey, yo, y'all gotta chill out.
I ain't saying. I just laugh. I ain't say nothing.
Hold on, it's gonna be more of this.
Oh snap!
Can I respond respectfully?
Yes, sir. You'll go right after 6.
Okay. Well, first, I'm going to introduce common sense to this conversation. Your rebuttal was cavil and moot, and was nugatory as far as adding any added value. Anytime you have to conflate a bunch of things that don't involve the actual topic, you're ungrounding it so that you can sway it in a way where your opinion actually is valid. So when you sway it in that way, it's valid. But I want to say this. I'm going to start off by saying this. I believe, and I'm going to ask you, but I'm going to tell you what I believe so you can understand the root of my words, because words matter. I believe that a man should run his household, and I believe that a woman should be cooperative and capitulate, and that every man should be a king of his throne, his wife, his children, his legacy, his word, his way. Wife, children, legacy, his word, his way. Do you also believe that? Because if you don't, then maybe that's why we're in a disconnect. So I'm asking you before I continue, do you also believe that?
Of course, sure.
All right. Are you married?
No.
Okay. So therefore, I am happily, healthy, fruitful. I'm grounded because it's not a stab at you. But if you believe in that, yet you're not living that lifestyle, either you're being disingenuous or you're suffering from a mild case of cognitive dissonance. Because there is no evidence your mindset will produce that type of household because you don't have one. But I do. So what are we arguing? My reality against your hypothetical? That's insane. And I won't participate in that. So I'll yield the floor.
All right, great. So, hey, I gotta respond to this.
Yeah, I know
so again, brother. As this goes last time, your little man syndrome is kicking in because you have to come with the, the hyperbole and the attacks, brother. And see, you're a horrible listener because I didn't bring anything extra into it. I use your horrible analogies against you, every last one of them, starting off with the ridiculous.
And I use your reality against you.
Brother, no, and I can tell you didn't have a father in your life either because you have no discipline.
Oh my God.
So as I said, right, I use your poor analogies against you. So you lied, and I address any and everything you said, even your horrible brother analogy about belief systems and whatever, right? So, brother, the fact of the matter that I am whooping your ass so bad in this debate and this discussion that you got to immediately go to the ad hominems and challenging my intelligence for the second time of our meeting and getting destroyed, brother. It don't matter if you're married. Okay, because you just told us you were a baby daddy first, so you weren't always doing it right, brother. You ended up getting to it, and
so you admit that I'm doing it right.
Hold on, let him.
So you admit I'm doing it right. Okay, you just admitted I'm doing it right.
Show some decorum.
Get the response.
Show some decorum, brother, Mr. Thesaurus.
Decorum is the wrong word. Decorum is the wrong word.
Decorum is not the wrong word. So listen, brother. Okay, for like again, dog. Your marriage is not guaranteed. Your marriage can end any day. And if you don't understand that, you are delusional. You are more of a prisoner, brother, okay, than I am. I have freedom. I do what I want. I still provide for my children, even though I'm not married. 2 of them grown, okay? They're good. They have a happy life. They have a way better childhood than I could have ever dreamed of. Never seen poverty, never been to jail, not going to jail. No, I'm not no granddaddy yet. You feel me? So again, brother, I am proof better than you without the marriage because I didn't need to be married to have wonderful, successful children. All right. and one that's still on the way. Oh, and I'm divorced, by the way, for the second one, brother. So again, man, if you're gonna attack me, brother, you gotta come better than that, man. I told you, too little. In
Hey,
every
man,
way, form of
you only
fashion,
sound smart to
don't
stupid
be the
people.
same way every time. Stop doing
You
it
only
to
sound smart to stupid people.
You
Nobody,
Yeah,
you sound smart to stupid
to you
people.
first. I sound the smartest to you. I know.
My brother, I'm gonna commend you on raising some strong children.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna commend you on raising some strong children. But let me ground the situation in intellect for a second. You said you believe in marriage, that the woman cooperates and capitulates to the man and they create a happy and healthy, fruitful union. You said you believe in that. Yet, there is no evidence that your mindset and your way of thinking can produce that. And then you get mad at me for not wanting to use analogies, not wanting to use hyperboles or similes or metaphors or double entendres. I'm using real life to indict your way of thinking and say, hey, your way of thinking led you to divorce. Yet you believe in man and woman being married and having, I don't understand. And because I don't understand, I'm gonna yield the floor to you because I believe that you lack the rudimentary comprehension skills it takes to keep up with this conversation and progress it. So I'll yield you the floor, but as a black man, I commend you. I'm not saying you can't raise capable children. That wasn't the foundation of my question. The first question I asked is, do you believe in marriage and the woman being cooperative? And you said yes. So then I said, okay, your mindset has you void of the very thing you believe in. Then you went to tell me how successful I am and how successful I ain't, which is asinine because you have no idea of that, which lets me know, and everybody watching, you just say anything, use sound effects and all this bombastic language to feel like you're winning. I'm not trying to win. I'm trying to dispel the fallacies and the chimerical relationships people have with the mindset of a man and a woman so that they can pair bond and coalesce in harmony. You're trying to win an argument. I'm trying to win our people. Separately, we can't win. Separately, it's only when we coalesce. And if you use divisive language, we all lose. So you're trying to win an argument. I'm trying to save our people. We have two different purposes, my brother.
Okay, great. Okay, so again, brother, you keep assaulting, insulting, attacking.
If the truth is insulting, then that means you're a lover of lies.
Well, brother, okay, again, my intelligence and my ability to comprehend what you're saying, and again, that's why.
Well, it's evident you haven't comprehended. Now, I don't know if you want me to use like slang and shit like that, but I could. I'd rather not.
You don't. You finish interjecting. You finish interrupting.
Let him land. He let you land, brother.
So yeah. So again, man, listen. That's why I repeat what you said before I say what you said to let you know that I listened and I comprehended and I directly address it. Okay. So just because I believe in marriage, okay, doesn't mean I have to fucking participate in it. That don't mean I gotta participate in it. Okay. That's I believe in employment. I'm not employed right now. I don't have to be. I don't need to be. So am I in a fallacy and delusional and la because I don't have a job? No, I'm not. Hold on, brother. Sure, go ahead, man.
So the difference is, and I still commend you, I built my wealth from my brain. I'm a leader. You were in the armed services. You're a follower. You can get a VA loan and get all kind of shit to help you. You're a follower. The Army and armed services is full of followers. They get told what the fuck to do for years and years until they can retire with a check. What I built from my own astuteness, my own aplomness. We are not the same. I didn't have government help. So therefore, I don't expect you to understand the way I think. But I'm not going to waste anything you got to say after this. I'm not going to waste any more time on you because bees don't waste their time convincing flies that honey tastes better than shit. So go ahead.
Like I'm looking at shit right now. So listen to what I'm saying, brother. Listen, you can't insult me for doing a job and working a job, which you allegedly. And again, brother, you bring your success up every time. So I just beat you to the punch because I know you was gonna do it. Okay, allegedly, brother. Again, you're just this so successful self-made nigga, which we know don't exist. Okay, you have some help from somewhere, and the white man at some point in time, be it a business loan, be it fucking something, You're not self-made, nigga. You're not. It's a fucking
So
balance.
are you saying that people can't be self-made?
You have no motherfucker. You just not.
Okay, so it continues to go into this whole debacle, this back and forth situation. So, what are y'all thoughts on this situation? Because first of all, let me say this: this nigga beard is wild. That goatee is fucking crazy. I've never seen no shit like that. And I'm not trying to. Nah, fuck that. That beard is crazy. That shit is wild. That shit, I don't understand it. What's going on? It's like he just kind of forgot. Like, you know what? Just keep it thick right here on the goatee and then just make it light on the outside. That shit wild. It's got a faded beard.
Hey, isn't opulent sick like a military term?
Who?
Isn't opulent sick like a military term? I know.
I don't think so.
No, but I'm not. I would never call another guy that first part of his thing. I would never say that.
Well, opulent, like I'm not gonna call you. Like most people are gonna call you op, and they.
I just look. It gives the same kind of like connotation, like when Cedric Entertainment. I'm not gonna call another grown man delicious.
Yeah.
Hey, don't y'all? I think that cat took all his classes in the trailers, bro. Like
so
every time.
I'm sorry, Marcus. I'll let you rock out. So it means ostentatiously rich, luxurious, lavish, or abundant. That's what opulent means.
Oh,
but it sounds like a stripper name.
and then the sixth part means nurturing, love, family, and responsibility. So there you go.
Okay. I don't know why I thought that was a military thing. Maybe when somebody got the six. Well, that's probably what I thought.
This situation is just a pissing contest. Like, all right, I'm gonna get to the crevices of the minutia of what he was saying. Basically, they having a conversation about marriage. Six feels he believes in marriage. He asked him, do he Mr. Fantastic believe in marriage? Mm-hmm. Fantastic said yes, but at the same time, just because I believe it doesn't mean I have to participate in it. Six is trying to catch him in a contradiction of saying he don't think that he doesn't even have the mental capacity to actually go through a marriage, and that's the reason why Fantastic, he did have a divorce. He don't have proof that he can be in a marriage. But it gets to a point where they're talking past each other because everything that was already said in the beginning is already done. He believes in marriage. It just doesn't mean he don't have to participate in it. What Six is doing is just over emphasizing and just keep overbeating a dead horse of something that's already been answered. He just don't want to participate in marriage, but he do believe in it. It could have stayed right there. What Six is doing is trying to shit on him in an intellectual way and just keep on saying that he don't feel like he has the mental capacity to be married, whether if he tried or not, which is, I believe they have past conversations, so it's not even about what they're talking about right now. Now, if I zoom out of it and I talk about like holding men accountable for this kind of behavior, it is sad. Straight up. It's sad.
Hold on, but let me ask you though, for the people that may be watching who can watch this later, what's the sad part about it? What do you think is sad about it?
It's because us as men, we talk about how we navigate through conversation and we don't get in our feelings. It's women that's in feelings and, all that type of stuff. Like right now, what's going on is what we kind of confront women with.
Yeah.
They in their feelings. And I would say Six is more in his feelings than Mr. Fantastic, because Mr. Fantastic is able to sit down, listen to him, and give his whole spiel, and he can repeat what he say and, move accordingly with that and just have a back and forth dialogue. Six, on the other hand, he can't. You saw he did about 15, 17 sit-ups. He did a workout right now because he sit all the way back in his chair. He say he gonna let you go. Then he get all the way in the camera. Then he get back. Then he get all the way in the camera with that trash ass beard, And that situation is, yeah, you can say all the words and filler words and everything, but I'd rather see a sermon than to hear one any day. He lacks compulsion. If he need to sit on his hands, he probably need to do it. Even though he may disagree with what Fantastic is saying, this is something else that we telling women as well. Just because you disagree with somebody doesn't mean you have to interrupt them every single time. Let him get his whole spiel out, and then you can rebuttal it. He can't do it.
So let me ask you this. So then before you keep going, so let me ask you this. So do you think what he's displaying right now is I'm gonna get in position in regards to what he did. So do you think in regards to him constantly interrupting and having to interject when they let him land, they let him say his whole spiel and get his shit off, but then when somebody else says something that he disagrees with, while he's like this the entire time, do you think this displays fake masculinity?
Oh yeah, all this performative. Like I said before in the beginning, when he was on that show with that light skinned lady, I forgot her name. He
Azora,
talks way different.
Azora, something like that.
Yeah, he talked way different, and he does not sit like that or nothing like that. All this is performative because he's on the camera. Like I said, I'd rather see a sermon in here with any day. All he doing is talking. I get he might be successful. He had his show. He making money. He get that. He talking about I made my money with my brains. But at the same time, we'll be the same men talking about women, saying why you wouldn't get with a guy that probably is average. But I think Mr. Fantastic, he's retired and he get paid for the rest of his life. He good. And he got different things going on as well. So he's not a broke fella. So it's not. Right. So it's like, what's the difference between his point of way he make? Why you counting somebody's pockets? As a man,
if you can do it like me, it don't count.
That's like Jay-Z coming to me on a podcast and counting my pockets. If you a multi-millionaire and all that stuff, most of those dudes, they don't really be counting people's pockets to solidify if I should have a conversation with you or not when you voluntarily coming on a podcast to talk. I can tell if it's a different situation where you have a circle of people that you have all the time and you don't move with certain type of people, but you on the same podcast as a person that you are talking about his pockets. What is that to say of what you get from that? And my whole thing about it is what he's displaying everything that we always kind of have a conversation about women about. It's lack of compulsion, can't stay shaming tactics.
Yeah.
Right? Throwing innuendos. He know what he's doing, but he trying to act like he's not, but trying to cover it up as just because you can't comprehend, it's not my fault.
Right.
So it's even saying that is a shot. Yep. Instead of just staying on topic and have a conversation like men.
But hey, I say it all the time about multiple people. He has those conversations with people that listen. I guarantee you, but most people he talked to are women, and he's got the kind of he comes off more like I know what the hell I'm talking about, and you need to listen, and then no one should ever question what I'm saying. You should follow exactly what I'm saying because it worked for me, and then it'll work for you. So I think he talks to women like that, and when someone has a rebuttal, I don't think he has a lot of conversation with men, especially men that have their shit together or has done something that makes them substantial, and it may be a different way. It could be again a truck driver, but you know what? He's got 8 trucks. He's making money. He might not talk like you, but he's got a successful business. He's like kind of person only people you can talk to are what he looks at lower, and they're never going to question what he's saying. And he might think, and what he's saying is, it could lead you in a certain kind of way, but it don't work for everybody. You know what I'm saying? So, again, he kind of seemed just like that one dude who always says send a fucking $10,000. That one, what's his name? Rico or whatever the fuck his name is. Kind of like that. You got to be the man. You got to be one making all this fucking money, and you got to pay for everything. You got to do all this shit. And obviously, women are gonna eat that shit up 100%. So they will sit there and be quiet and listen to you. and they won't interrupt you at all. And that kind of how his whole thing is like, don't interrupt me, let me talk. Then when you see Mr. Fantastic trying to call him out on his bullshit, he has to try to jump into it and try to cut him off and be like, and try, like I said, throw those insults at him because he knows what he's saying is bullshit, and it's not gonna fly with a real man who has his own brain.
No, it's a tactic, and I'm pretty sure he well read, and he know what he's doing. He throwing so many variables that you can't stop and address one, so he interjects, so he don't have to substantiate the previous one. So every time he talks, Mr. Fantastic sits back, chill, whatever, say the whole thing. Then when Mr. Fantastic start addressing the certain variables that he has, he's gonna attack you as soon as you do the first one, and he's gonna continue to have a conversation move forward, so you don't address the previous one, because now you gotta address the new variable that he did every single time. So he know what he's doing, and therefore that's the reason why he's taking the shots, and he know it's gonna be women that's viewing it, and they're gonna be like, oh yeah, he won because he was getting the Mr. Fantastic ad. No, actually, he was having a low intelligent conversation because he wasn't able to sit back, listen to all the variables that Fantastic say, and address them. He only can address one at a time, as you can see. And then he's not even paying attention to the conversation. He hear keywords, because you want to know why? When he sat back, he went in his phone while Mr. Fantastic was talking. Then when he heard one key word, he got off his phone and addressed it. If you so busy, you probably need to go take that call and take it if you so busy. Or you just didn't want to hear what he was saying in the first place, so you don't have to address it. That's the reason why I can understand it's a whole tactic of what he's doing. He's not there to have a conversation. He's just trying to derail the conversation so he don't have to substantiate the things he's saying or have a difference of opinion.
But I kind of disagree that he's well read. I agree that he studies on a lot of words and trying to get to definition and where he can throw them in there. But I don't think he's because it's some of those situations where, like, again, he's around people who just won't question it. They're like, I'm not gonna question what you're saying. So like he gets away with that shit a lot, and he can use those big words out there. You see, he's stumbling over his words when he's talking to Fantastic. He's not popping his head as quick. Man, y'all gotta know some people like this from high school. They're like I said, they were like in that trailer park doing all 7 classes, and then now you see them, they throw out these big ass words like they smart and shit, and that's all they focus on. Everything about their life is about intelligence. Everything, that's what they fucking call.
I ain't gonna hold you, because think about it, Matt. Just as what he's doing right now, and I see what you were saying too, but even when he was having this conversation on his other podcast, he wasn't throwing out big words like that. Mm-hmm. Even if he was trying his best to try to navigate the conversation and have an intimate conversation, he wasn't throwing out big words like that. So I think he's personally doing it to try to derail the conversation. I honestly think he's I get you. But I'm in agreement with Marcus. I don't think he's as intelligent as he's trying to make himself seem.
Oh, I don't think he is either. I know it because I think I said it. I think I was talking to my brother about it because he kind of watched that type of stuff too. Mm-hmm. And that's why I said, you remember right before he said it, he got a few in the chamber that he's ready for. Is moot, minutia, on the crevice. Like he only got a few of them.
Yeah.
So I understand,
capitulate and all that type of stuff. And he like to say you have a rudimentary type of thinking, logic or something like that. He got a few. It's on, and he use it a lot. So I understand. But what I'm saying is, I say he's well read. I'm not saying that he's intelligent. I'm saying that I know he done read enough to know how to derail conversation. And I know when somebody doing it on purpose. That's the reason why every time he does a variable, he throw about 15 and he says a lot of words, because what he wants you to do and what he wants to position himself, he don't want to substantiate his argument. He wants to say all those words, and then if you have a disagreement, he wants to
Therefore, because he's saying a whole bunch of words that most people don't use on a day-to-day basis, he can then, for the viewers that's watching that probably don't use all them words either, they smile like, oh, he knows some words. Now he can use the tactic of saying, well, you might not be as intelligent enough to keep up with the conversation. That's the reason why you're missing what I'm saying. That's the reason why Fantastic pointed it out too. He said, that's the reason why I'm listening, and then I say what you just said so I can address it.
He like what he reminds me of those dudes, that these dudes, remember back in the day, you used to go to trivia and they know everything about history. And it's like, I don't fucking study history, bro. I don't know. And just to try to show off in front of chicks, like, did you know this came from 1975 and blah, blah. And you're like, oh, okay, cool, bro. And it's like, all right. It's like some useless knowledge. I call it useless knowledge. And they're really fucking good at it. It's because no one else studies on the shit.
My whole thing about this is, if you're such a businessman, all that type of stuff, this, that, and the third, I would think you're too busy to be on these panels all the time. He's always on Fatty panels. He always on Ali panels. And he always want to champion his accolades.
Yep.
But I'm like, where it's something not adding up. Right?
Y'all want to get to that part before when he start to really go in on what he has?
Yeah, we clear the rock out.
Let's go.
He let you land every time. Six. You got
all your lame shit you say and not say a word. You gotta just say something, bro. Your Napoleon complex is kicking in. Calm down, brother. I understand. Right? You can't job shame me, brother, for beating the system and using the system to my advantage. You're right. I got a VA loan. When did you get your first house, brother? Huh? I used it to my full advantage, right? And like you said, now I don't have to work a job. I don't. And you don't know how much money I have. You're limiting me to the job I used to have. You don't know what investments I have. You don't know anything other than what I used to do. And you seeing me on YouTube, brother. So you trying to put me in your little box, like your little body and your little mind, is where you fucking up. Okay?
Pause it. Pause it.
Do you know about?
Look at him, bro.
His discomfort.
He in the camera like a chick that with a resting bitch face. That's all right. I'm gonna shut up. I can't wait to say something. I ain't listening to shit you saying. I just want to say some shit that ain't got nothing to do with what you just said. I'm just gonna shame you with the first two things that I heard you said. I done checked out.
You already know. You broke and you ugly.
Look. Now this is what I'm saying. Like I went to school for it. I understand body language and all that type of shit. Look at his eyebrows.
Yeah.
Look how it's pointed up. It's communication, bro. He like, boo. I'm finna get on your ass as soon as you stop talking. Is that right? He ain't listening to shit. And then Fantastic is making a great point. So it's now he trying to thinking about, damn, that's a good rebuttal because both of them could be in the same test bracket. Both of y'all don't know how much each other making. So how can you make a claim and I can't? That's crazy.
Yeah, because he pretty much used the same. He tried to use that as in regards to, oh well, you in the military. Well, he's like, well, I've said this before, so therefore you're trying to use that against me as if, okay, well, I'm working for somebody. Well, yeah, I manipulated the system. Yeah,
you know
I can say the same thing. Shit, I was in the military. I was able to go overseas as well, and so therefore, I'm not gonna say I manipulated the system, but what I will say is that the things that happened to me in the military, I was able to then leverage on the back end of my career in the military to help me fund the life that I have now. Like, what are we talking about?
You know what that is? What Stick's doing? That's that bad bitch brain rot that the complex that be having. I'm gonna shame you for doing good.
Yeah, true. Yeah, true.
I'm gonna shame you. Oh, what you got? I was in the military. I leveraged stuff. I got investments. I got this, that, and that. Oh, you got your money by having a job. Oh, okay. What?
You ain't start from scratch, huh? You had to get a job. What you mean? Yeah,
yes, of course. Okay, what you got? I made my money from my mind. Don't everybody make their money from their fucking mind? Yeah, you had to make the decision to go to, and then, bro, even when you in Courtney, you can attest to this. Even when you're in the military, you got to be. I ain't gonna say how high level IQ, but you got to make some real good choices before you leave that bitch, so you can be set up after you leave. Yes. And most people don't do it. They just be having fun, going to base, getting drunk, and by the time they get out the military, man, the Army don't help me at all. Nah, you ain't set your papers up. You ain't get your benefits. You ain't get your disability. You ain't do none of that shit before you left.
Yeah, a lot of them didn't take heed to why they were in. They could have been going to college. They could have been getting their degrees. They could have been learning to, like, they have many classes and courses that you could take while you're in the military. And so they have courses on what to do when you get out of the military. They have all these different things that'll set you up for success once you get out of the military, for those people who may not want to do 20 years, for those who may have done the amount of years, the 4 years, right, minimum. Right. And so a lot of people don't dive into that. And so, but I had the luxury enough to have people around me that was able to listen, bro, get your TSP together, learn how to invest your money. Cause I'm telling you, there's a lot of military men right now, you know, who are captains, majors, lieutenant colonels. They've been investing their money this type of way. Listen, they got 2 or 3 properties already. So when they retire, they already done their 20 years. Now that they got their 20 years, guess what? They're gonna get on top of that, because they got all the documentation too for everything that's happened to them throughout the course of their career. Now they got the documentation. Now they can go get 100% on top of still getting paid based off of their rank that they retired in. Now they got investments on top of that, real estate investment or whatever things they decided to invest in. So now they got this waddle of money that they just sitting on, and they straight for the rest of their life, and they're gonna continue to keep getting paid for the entirety of their life. House paid for and everything else is paid for. So they just big chilling. And so they made all the right investments while they were in the military at the time. And so now this is not to say that, now I'm gonna kind of go off tangent real quick. This is not to say that you can't do this while you have a 9 to 5, but there is leverage in it. And this is why one of the things I always teach as well, and one of the things I always try to advocate for as well, just because you got 9 to 5, that don't necessarily mean you can't do what the military people are doing. They have many different things, many different avenues that which you can invest your money and learn how to invest properly. So that way you can set yourself up for success. But a lot of people don't know. They don't know what they don't know. So sometimes we can't blame people, but at the same time we can't. It's like, bro, you got a phone, right? You got the internet at your fingertips. But sometimes some people just don't know what to do. Sometimes some people don't know what to say, or even we can say AI, go to AI, but I don't know what the fuck to put in my AI to tell me this shit. So you got individuals like Raw, you got individuals like Matt, you got individuals like Marcus, myself. Listen, bro, I can help you out with that. So just having the right people around you, man, that's gonna guide you in the right direction.
That's crazy, because like my brother, he told me the same thing you said. My dad, he actually put my brother on game about all that.
Yep.
My sister, my mom, all of us didn't benefited from my dad being in the military.
Yep.
So this shit that Six doing, he ain't really like. That's how you know all this shit performative, and he just in his emotions right now, because a real man respect another real man for making good decisions and being in a good situation. You mean tell me you 43 years old, you're already retired, you don't have to work, you got your investments, you got your own house. Yeah, you was in a marriage, but you know you got a divorce. This shit's is 75% these days. So, hey, okay, you part of statistic. She tried to take your money, but you won, so she couldn't take your what it was, his retirement. She tried to take it half his retirement and all, and threatened to leave with her. He didn't get all that shit, right? And now you want to shit on him. That's some cat ass shit, bro. Fake ass nigga.
Yeah, but I think that's like a toxic that come from like toxic hood mentality. I don't know his background, but it's always like, oh, if you take the leg up, then you just pretty much nothing you did is valid. It's like, okay, if you ain't get it out the mud, then you ain't shit. Because that's pretty much what he's like radiating. Like, oh, well, you had handouts, you had all this. Like, motherfuckers act like that shit is easy. I mean, just like I told you earlier, I told you the reasons why I couldn't go. You know what I mean? But at the same time, that's just for me watching movies and all that, and the narrative that I curated in my mind of how it is to be in combat zones and whatnot. And clearly that shit is not easy. But it's like, okay, well, if I done seen somebody get bodied at the bus stop for doing some goofball stuff, why would I go overseas and let somebody else like do stuff of similar things towards me when I know I got to make it home? So just because somebody went to the military and whatever, and they used everything that was available to them, you shouldn't be discrediting none of that. And that's where this dude comes off, and I can see like what you talking about, you know, he got that big auntie energy. Because ain't nothing really masculine about his mainframe that he's holding down right now.
And then the top all that off, everything you just said, he actually went in the military to fight for you to even be on a microphone right now.
That's who.
He's shitting on a person that did all that and retired out the army. So he was in that bitch 20 years. Worked 20 years, and he could have died. He could have did his fault. I don't know if he was in infantry or nothing like that, but he did what he had to do. He put his time in for you to see.
Air Force.
Huh?
I think he was in the Air Force.
So he's smart.
Yeah.
Air Force don't put everybody in that bitch.
Facts.
So he's in the Air Force, and he got the big old auntie energy. Right now, oh, you went to the Air Force and you fought for the country? Big whoop. I use my mind.
Yeah, but see, too, another fallacy that people need to get rid of that I really dislike my coworkers go through too is this whole bullshit about work-life balance. Like, just because you work 8 hours and jack off for 8 hours don't mean that fucking you doing nothing in life.
They act like they work at the damn steel mill, bro.
If your retirement age is around 65, right? And life technically, let's just say it don't start till 5. 5 is right around when you can start school in North America.
Right.
So we're gonna just give you 0 to 5 on the house. So from 5 to 25, you're supposed to be learning. 25 to 45, you're supposed to be running up a bag. 45 to 65, let's just say that that's just, you know, you make it to retirement or you die, whatever. Sorry to be so morbid. But 45 to 65 is when you're supposed to enjoy the spoils of your labor. That's the work-life balance. This bullshit with motherfuckers think they supposed to work 40 hours a week and then go beat their meat for fucking 40 hours and chase bitches and all. That's not work-life balance.
Facts.
That's you being distracted and stupid.
I'm trying to fuck these bitches, bro. God damn, bro.
Yeah, but that's the thing. So now you run into another situation like this where you've been grinding. Let's just put it on a 20 piece. If 6 been grinding for 20 years trying to get a damn trucking business out the mud, we know the first 3 to 7 years was a wash. So them 3 to 7 that Fantastic put in the military, he already ahead of you. And that's where like a jealousy complex gets radiated into his conversation, because it's like, okay, you just keep going, oh, military, blah, blah, like it's some motherfucking cheat sheet, and realistically it's just a blueprint. Like, y'all motherfuckers want generational wealth, there it goes. Mac just told you his pops was in that joint, and one of his brothers. Courtney just told you, you know, his people was in there and it passed down. That is a form of generational wealth too. Because really, the majority of y'all getting houses and stuff from y'all parents, and y'all selling them like dumbasses, fucking off the money in the club, and then nobody got shit after you.
Fact.
So sometimes it's the structure of knowing what to do and where to go to get the resources is fucking generational wealth.
Just to get a leg, it's about just getting a leg up, bro. Like just starting ahead. So I know a lot of people have, and that was one. And here's the crazy thing: I was one of those people. I was hell bent on not going to the military. I was like, I'm not going. My parents were like, hey, you need to go to the military. You know, basketball ain't forever. You know, it ain't gonna be a thing for you. It's not gonna be. Everybody ain't gonna go to the NBA. I'm like, listen, man, listen. I'm out here big baller. I'm one of the top 11 in the city. Top 11. Like I'm big dogging it right now. You feel me? So Jersey retired, all this. So I'm here. I'm with it. And so as my career progressed into college and everything like that, and hooping, and then by the time my junior year of college came, I was like, listen, Rob, I gotta make a decision. I got about a year and a half left before I get out of school. I gotta do something. You know what I'm saying? I gotta make a move. I don't know what this sports management career gonna do for me. So now I gotta make a move. So I'm going to the military to get a leg up. And that's exactly what I did. I just come back, finish school, graduate college, because I don't want to just leave it on limbo. Come back, graduate. That's what I did. And so that's probably one of the best decisions that I ever made. Outside of family, kids and all that stuff, that's probably one of the best decisions I ever made, because it has set me up. It has set me up and put me in the right path, that not also, because now I can look back and say, look, my mother and my father, my dad went to the military. Cool. Grew up in a middle class home. Oh, my oldest brother went into the military, living a good life in Atlanta. Boom. I followed the footsteps, did the same exact thing, living a good life, middle class home, right? Now what I'm doing now is we're focusing on building something bigger now. Now we feel focused on building the empire now. We're building something. You know what? I'm not gonna even say empire. So that's a term that everybody uses. I'm not gonna say building empire. I'm building something.
It's legacy.
I'm building the legacy. I'm building something for the generation to come, my children's children, et cetera, right? I'm building that. So I'm taking the necessary sacrifices now, you know, whether how hard of it is work, you know, cool. I ain't getting my 8 hours of sleep. Bet I'm gonna get 5 hours, because that's gonna be, in the long run, that's gonna pay off, right? Taking the scrutiny of not having to make a lot of money right now, because it's gonna pay off on the back end. And so these are the things that a lot of people aren't talking about. Everybody want to talk about, oh, well, already got my business. Okay, what is your business doing? That's the question I want to ask people.